Footage of the Ukrainian army's operation in the city of Arwalsk, Kursk region of Russia, has been released. As can be seen from the footage shared on Telegram channels, Ukrainian aerial reconnaissance aircraft struck military equipment of the occupying Russian army, trucks carrying military personnel and ammunition, as well as passenger cars in which Russian soldiers were moving near the city with kamikaze drones. As a result, all targets were hit, and a large number of military equipment and trucks, as well as a large number of personnel of the occupying army, were blown up and destroyed.
Four Ukrainian soldiers who had spent more than 3 years in Russian-controlled territory have been evacuated. Oleksiy Nispapa, commander of the Ukrainian Navy, reported this. Nispapa said that Ola Reshetilova, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's commissioner for the protection of rights of service members and their families, had received a report that the twin brother of a recently exchanged Marine had been severely wounded during fighting in Ukraine's east in 2022. The soldier ended up in a hospital and, thanks to sympathetic doctors, was hidden from Russian secret services. Upon receiving the report, the Navy Command decided to begin special evacuation measures. It later turned out that, along with the twin brother, 3 National Guard soldiers had also been in the hospital, where they had been forced to hide for more than 3 years. In the end, the Navy's Special Reconnaissance Unit Angels evacuated the Marine, the 3 National Guard fighters, and a hospital medic who had helped them hide. The operation was planned and carried out in several stages, taking into account the illegal status of all involved, the high intensity of fighting, and the strengthened filtration measures by Russian secret services. Our soldiers are safe and finally reunited with their families. The Navy's Special Reconnaissance Unit, Angels, has rescued 88 people and once again proved that nothing is impossible for Ukrainian soldiers. We are fighting for everyone, Oleksiy Nispapa said. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in July that Kiev had secured the release of over 6,400 Ukrainians from Russian captivity since 2022, of whom 5,857 were freed during prisoner exchanges. He told that Ukraine had brought home 5,857 people from Russian captivity via exchanges since the outbreak of Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022. Another 555 people were freed separately from prisoner exchanges, Zelensky added, without providing additional details. The president made the announcement following a meeting with a team focused on the repatriation of prisoners held by Russia, which coincided with the commemoration of the massacre of Ukrainian prisoners of war, POW, in a Russian military prison in Olenivka in 2022. It is important to continue exchanges and verify the situation for every single name. Each person matters, Zelensky said. Over 50 Ukrainian POWs were killed in an explosion in Russian-occupied Olenivka in Donetsk Oblast between July the 28th and 29th, 2022. Kiev has accused Russia of carrying out the attack and of deliberately placing members of the Azov regiment in a building that was later destroyed. Moscow has denied responsibility and blamed Kiev for the explosion, a claim rejected by the UN investigation. According to an investigation by Ukraine's Prosecutor General's office, over 11,000 Ukrainians were illegally detained by Russia in places of deprivation of liberty during the war.
The active phase of joint military exercises involving countries in the Collective Security Treaty Organization finished in Belarus on Saturday. According to Associated Press, the CSTO contingents of Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan took part in the week-long drills. Observers from Iran attended the final stage of the exercise at the Lasvito training ground in Vitebsk region, Russian news agencies reported. According to a report by the Russian state TV, all soldiers of the Russian contingent were on the front line in Ukraine and their main goal was to share real combat experience. Belarusian Defense Minister Viktor Krenin said the CSTO troops demonstrated the ability and possibility to respond to various threats in the organization's areas of responsibility. The Collective Security Treaty Organization was formed in the first half of the 1990s following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Besides Russia, it includes Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan.
Другая же здесь лесная местность, у нас есть степь, и по месяцам мы уже действуем по-другому.
Основное это, конечно, передача опыта СВО, потому что применяются новые тактики, способы, методы ведения боевых действий, которые ранее не применялись и которые имеют достаточно серьезный успех.
Они что-то изучают новое, мы что-то изучаем новое.
Ну вот они просят поделиться опытом именно СВО, именно реальной боевой работы.
Ну СВО, они как? Они спрашивают, как это делается, при каких обстоятельствах.
Подразделений ПССМ.
Мы демонстрируем единство взглядов и способность и возможность реагировать на различные угрозы в зонах ответственности организации.
Служу России!